Alright, so I got to play CTR. Let's talk about how the game feels and what can be improved overall. What's up guys, Canadian Guy here, and if you have not recently noticed, I have been posting a crazy amount of footage over the past few days when it came to nitro-fueled. Thank you to Activision for personally inviting me over and letting me play the game, as well as recording the footage in a direct feed. Only a few people have been able to do it, so to have that is something that is truly incredible. The night before I left the con, I played through the entire adventure mode of CTR, making sure that I played every level possible to make sure I know how each level feels, as I was not, well, 100% sure what levels I would be playing. The 4 levels I got to play were the levels on the floor: Papu's Pyramid, Sewer Speedway, Electron Avenue, and Clockwork Wampa. So, let's jump into it. I do want to note that I played it once privately with Activision and then twice on the actual show floor. So overall, I played the game 3 times. So I got a pretty good feel of it. Right away, I have to say the game feels nearly perfect. Racing through the levels feels fantastic and is a pure action bliss. Whipping around corners, avoiding obstacles, and blowing past your opponents feels just as good as the original, maybe even a little better. But that is thanks to the amazing visuals and effects that Beenox has added. I cannot get over how close they have gotten to the original game in terms of driving mechanics. And yes, one of the ultimate questions I want to answer now, the power drifting feels practically perfect. When I played Sewer Speedway, what you see here is my first playthrough of the level. This was not a take 2, this was not a redo, this was me facing 3 other players and 4 AI, and was the first level I played at the private and off-site hotel. So this footage that you're seeing is the first time that I have played Crash Team Racing nitro-fueled ever. As you can see here, I am just blasting through the stage. The practice that I did before I went to PAX East literally just about translated 1-to-1 through this playthrough. Though there are brand new visuals and these new levels look absolutely breathtaking, they are not distracting when in motion. In the end, it feels like pleasant eye candy as you blow through the level at insane speeds. Get it? Alright. Now, I can only compare Papu Pyramid and Sewer Speedway because, well, I never played Crash Nitro Kart, but to kind of show how close they got to stage and controls, while I was streaming the other night before I went to PAX, and I was playing Tiny on Papu's Pyramid, I was struggling with a certain corner and plant. Well, after wondering my choices in life and why I decided to pick Tiny again for Papu's Pyramid, I decided to race through. I struggled with the same area with the exact same plant. So if you've had any advantages or struggles before, it's likely going to translate over to the current game. Now, if I sat through the whole video praising how great the game is, then Beenox would not be able to actually improve on this game. So, just about everything about this remake, wait, remaster? But now there's Crash Nitro Karts, so it's a duology? Is that even a word? Ugh, the terminology of this game is straight up confusing. Anyway, just about everything in this game feels just about perfect in terms of the originals. However, there are a few things that could be improved overall. First off, the jumps on the ramps when you press R1 to get a boost feels a tiny bit off. It seems like as if you don't jump quite as high as the original. Now, I might be wrong on this, but there were a few jumps that I hit that I felt the launch distance was a tad short. The next issue that I had was the recovery. If you get hit by an enemy weapon, you wipe out. However, when it feels like you have recovered, there's a moment where you just can't move, and then you go. Now, if this is the correct amount of time that the character should be stunned, then the animation should show that. But at the moment, the character looks like they could get back to racing, and there's this moment of delay that feels weird. It makes you kind of want to scream, "Go! Go!" No! My last issue is the warning reticle that tells you that something is on its way to wreck you and your day. See, this reticle was originally used for when missiles locked onto you and were about to make you hate your life. But now this reticle applies to when someone fires a warp orb. You know, the blue ball of death that I totally didn't look up the name for while writing the script. Here's the thing. If you are, let's say, quite ahead of the group, and someone fires the warp orb, which I totally knew the name of before this video, you get the reticle telling you that the orb is a-comin', but it can take a long time to get to you, especially if it was fired by someone in last place, and all you hear the whole time is this annoying beeping sound letting you know that death is coming. You know, eventually. It also has the same coloration as the regular missile lock on, so you can't quite tell the difference what you're going to get hit by unless you look at the mini-map. My suggestion is simply to make it so that when the orb or missile is within a certain distance, that you see the warning reticle pop up, not right when it's fired. Also, maybe change the reticle to perhaps a blue when it's a warp orb that's fired instead of the same as the missile. I can't get over how close they have the controls feeling like the original. It feels so good, and these critiques that I have are all that I got. I know a lot of people have opinions by looking at the footage, but it's not the same as playing the actual game. The game just feels like a high-octane kart racer that brings more satisfaction than I've had in these types of games in a long time. By the way, a huge shout out to my Patreons and sponsors on the channel. I appreciate your support and letting me be able to do this full time as I got a family to feed. If you want to support the channel, the Patreon is in the description below, and be sure to subscribe for more nostalgic content. And while you're at it, why not check out another video I recently made? Anyway guys, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.